Do we want to move on to the Billionaire Space Race?
Yeah, I think that's positive news.
This company, what's it called? Virgin Galactic? There's a company called Virgin Galactic, and they take people to space. It's $200,000. Stock seems to be doing pretty well. Anybody have thoughts on Richard Branson getting to space? I don't know. Let's just randomly go to somebody. Chamath? No, in all seriousness, congratulations.
I cried. Nat and I...
Start the SEC transcript, public statement. Here we go.
Nat and I watched it together.
You cried?
And it was emotional. And it's emotional because, being a little bit more on the inside, how hard they worked. I mean, we've all been there where we're all toiling in obscurity, where there are moments where everybody thinks that what you're doing either is crazy or isn't going to work or is going to fail. And there's a moment where you just have to push through it, right? And find people that believe in you. I think I came in very late to that, but I had the opportunity to find these incredible people, believe in them, help them, give them capital, which was essentially oxygen, right? That's oxygen for a company. And then to see them achieve it, it felt so special to be a part of it. So yeah, I was really emotional. And it was beautiful. So I don't know. I think this is the beginning of the beginning. I tweeted this out, but basically, if you think about, and there's other stuff that we can't talk about with some other companies that we are all involved in, David and I particularly, but here's the point, guys. Between sending people and making us an interplanetary species, by creating pervasive internet access, and by enabling us to safely and reliably transport people either point-to-point suborbitally or basically into space, we are completely reimagining how the human race can work. And I think that's incredible. And to be a part of that is really special. There was a lot of people who got very negative on Twitter, I noticed. There was a lot of people that said, oh, well, maybe now we can deal with, I don't know, child hunger or, hey, why are all these billionaires doing this, that, or the other? And I took a step back and I thought, my gosh, people are, there's a small virulent cohort of people that are incredibly negative, and B, doesn't even know what they're talking about, because you're talking about issues of state responsibility and confusing it for what private citizens are doing to advance a set of technologies that I think have broad appeal. So those are my thoughts. I mean, I watched every minute of it and I thought it was incredible. Just
to add to that, I want to take the part that all the naysayers and the negativity. I mean, Chamath is right. All the very online people immediately came out attacking this extraordinary accomplishment and act of bravery by Branson. I mean, this is a billionaire. He doesn't need to be risking his life launching himself into space. I mean, this is a courageous act. He's putting his life where his mouth is. And you had all these very online people, but you had one CNN commentator basically said this was bad for the environment. You had another one saying that, calling him a tax cheat. Then there was another whiner who said, what about all the starving children in the world? I mean, it just went on and on like this. And Mike Solana had a pretty funny tweet summing up the sort of the left's argument thusly. He said, number one, this is their argument, according to Solana. 1, money is evil. 2, therefore people with money are evil. 3, therefore things people with money care about evil. I mean, that is basically the level of sophistication of the argument that's being made. That's the argument that the left is making.
Everybody's a Bond villain.
Right. But here's the problem is that, first of all, we do get tremendous benefits out of these innovators who are pushing the boundaries of science and technology and engineering. Branson actually went on Stephen Colbert's show and defended it. He said, listen, I think they're not fully, this is Branson. He said, I think they're not fully educated to what space does for Earth. Is connecting the billions of people who are not connected down here. He said every single spaceship that we've sent, putting satellites up there, monitoring different things around the world, like the degradation of rainforests, monitoring food distribution, even monitoring things like climate change. These things are essential for us back on Earth. So we need more spaceships going up to space, not less. So, they're really just kind of ignorant about the benefits of technology. And what do they want to do with the money anyway? We've got yes, we do have all these problems on Earth, but so many of our problems are not a problem of underfunding. We have tons of money going to the problem of homelessness in California. It just keeps getting worse because we have the wrong approach. We have on education, we have
the wrong ideas.
We have the wrong
organization. We have the wrong execution. Fix the operating details. It's not a money issue.
Exactly. Take education in California. We have very high levels of per pupil spending, and our test scores keep going down. Why? Because we have unions controlling the schools. There's no competition.
Don't worry, David. We're getting rid of testing. We've eliminated testing. We solved that problem.
We spent more as a percentage of GDP on healthcare than any other Western country in the world. Yet the life expectancy of white men, which is basically the top of the pyramid of healthcare, is now sub 80 years old. What is going on? If all of these negative naysayers could actually just get into the arena and try to do something,
right? Instead of whining,
Instead of
professional whiner class.
They have no ideas. They have no ideas. They have no solutions. They just have gripes.
And no ability to execute, apparently.
Yeah, why don't they come up with new programs, actually test new programs at a hyper-local level to see what works? Okay.
Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? These sort of like leftist whiners are not motivated to actually do the hard work. Meaning, even if they have an idea for education, the precondition to working on an education program or a healthcare program is they may need to spend 4 or 5 years in the bowels, in obscurity, just learning, paying their dues. They don't want to do that either because they grew up in a culture of kindergarten soccer. Everybody gets the gold star. Everybody gets to touch the ball. Everybody gets to be at the front of the line. And they're not willing to put in the work because the minute they realize how much actual work is demanded of progress, they run away because they're scared. And the reason they're scared is because somewhere along the way, somebody tricked them. That it was not actually about trying, it was actually about succeeding. And that is the biggest failure that we could do to people, is all of a sudden tricking them to believe you have to have it to work.
So they'd rather be hall monitors, they'd rather be critics.
And
they'd rather be critics than try.
Failure is just as good because you're one step closer to succeeding. Somewhere along the way, unfortunately, they were not taught that incredible secret hiding in plain sight.